Indians had been coming to South Africa since the late 1600s as slaves for the Dutch colony of the Western Cape.
People from the South Asian continent actually came to the Cape from the 17th century right through to the 18th century as slaves. And many of them would have converted to Islam, so they'd become part of what is known as the Malay community.
On the 16th of November, 1860, 339 women, men and children were the first Indian indentured labor workforce to arrive in South Africa.
Indenture was a form of scab labor. The Zulu kingdom had not been defeated. The Zulu kingdom was a very powerful entity, and there was a labor shortage.
I don't think there's any other community anywhere else in this country where there was such concentration of institutions, from educational institutions, religious institutions, the largest number of cinemas in the country, all within this community.
They settled in places like Cato Manor. They mortgaged pieces of ground. They mortgaged their lives away. My grandfather was one of them, and I have vivid memories of him carrying 2 heavy metal cans of water from the little dam at the river at the bottom of his garden. And from that honest, hard labor, this community built themselves up.
The Goodwill Lounge was probably the most cosmopolitan place in Durban. It was through jazz that different races actually converged, and many people say it was the only place in Durban where people of different races could meet.
What sets it us apart is that it was one of the few communities where that diverse population was so severely dismembered. It was almost like a body that had its arms cut off and placed somewhere, a leg cut off and placed somewhere else, simply because of a racial identification document.
The long history of Indian involvement in the political struggles of South Africa must be seen in the context of place.
We have a choice, a choice between, accepting apartheid or fighting apartheid.
People like Yusuf Kachalia, armed struggle, he said, will distract us from political organizing.
We're not nihilists, we are positive. Black consciousness is a humanism.
It was the front of all movements that stood for democracy and that was against the apartheid government. It reforged that link that was broken when the ANC was exiled.
So I think at the end of the day, South Africa is the melting pot. It's where the North meets the South, the East meets the West. That's our strength. That's what makes us a laboratory. That's what makes us a remarkable nation.
I hope that this commemoration will be a way of remembering a past that again must inform the future.
So for me, the 150 years is about us grabbing history so we can live and make decisions in the present.
I wouldn't want such a commemoration to lead to Indian chauvinism. I think we really need to be South African citizens. And that is the most important thing.
Who am I? I've been called an Indian, South African Indian, Indian South African, Kuli, Amakula, Amandia, Charo. They will not displace me, though I feel the weight of history, for I know who I am. I am an African.